Alright, so what deck do we have today? Welcome back, MTG Burgeonites. This is Burgeoning here, and we are back with our kitchen table series. What deck are we featuring today? Well, I think it might be appropriate if we just shuffle, cut, draw an opening hand, and see if the hand can't tell us what we're playing before we get to the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 it is. And, oh, look at that. We draw the first card, Quest for Ulah's Temple. Ladies and gentlemen, you nailed the nail on the head right there. We are playing a straight blue Quest for Ulah's Temple. And what a great start we have. Turn 1, we draw. We play an island. We cast the Ulah's Temple. And now we just sit back and let the counters come up. We reveal a creature. We already put a counter. We are so far ahead. We're casting Ponder. We're looking at 3. Oh, baby. We're going to put those back. We're drawing a Brainstorm. We're passing the turn. Got a counter on this. Oh, now we got 2 counters. We're tapping 3 at the end of the end step. We're casting Brainstorm. We're drawing 3 cards. We're putting 2 cards back. And reveal another card. It's another creature. That's the 3rd counter on this. And yes, folks, it's a Quest for Ulah's Leviathan Kraken deck. Yes, we finally did it, baby. Here we go. Burgeonites, welcome back. This is MTG Burgeoning here, and we are continuing our kitchen table series. This is a series where we take some decks, we sit down at the kitchen table. It's not Commander, it's not Modern, it's not Pioneer, it's not Standard. We're just throwing some cards together, making some decks, sitting down at the table, and having some fun. And today's deck is a blue deck centered around one of the coolest enchantments, Quest for Ulah's Temple. Come on, there we go. For 1 blue, at the beginning of our upkeep, we may look at the top card of our library. If it's a creature card, we may reveal it, put a quest counter on Quest for Ulah's Temple. At the beginning of each end step, that's important. It's not just our end step. It's at the beginning of every end step. If there are 3 or more quest counters on Quest for Ulah's Temple, we may put a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent creature card from our hand onto the battlefield. So, to begin, we're going to center our entire deck around using Quest for Ulah's Temple. 4 copies. 1 playset of Quest for Ulah's Temple. Now, some cards that we're going to use to help manipulate the top of our deck. So we are showing some of those creature cards to put the counters on Quest for Ulah's Temple. Ponder. A sorcery for blue. We look at the top 3 cards of our library, put them back in any order, or we may shuffle our library and then draw a card. Perfect for stacking the top of our library so that we can reveal a creature card at the beginning of our upkeep. 1 playset, 4 copies. Not at sorcery speed, at instant speed, we have a playset of Brainstorm. For a blue, we draw 3 cards, take 2 cards from our hand, put them on top of our library in any order. Another way for us to stack the top of our library, so we're showing those creatures and we're getting those counters. And 1 play set of Halimar Depths. For a land that comes into play tapped, and when it does, we look at the top 3 cards of our library and then put them back in any order. Gives us a blue, lets us shuffle around the top, and gives us one play set in this deck. All right, so what are some of the creatures that we're looking to land at the top of our library and eventually into our hand? Oh no! And then eventually into play by using Quest of Ulah's Temple. Well, the first such creatures are going to be the Simic Sky Swallower. For 5, a green and a blue, we're putting into play a 6/6 flying, trampling Shroud Leviathan. So if it gets into play, pretty sure it's staying in play outside of a board wipe. One play set of the Simic Sky Swallower. Yes, it does have green in its spell. Yes, this is just a straight blue mana based deck, but remember, we are trying to put this spell into, we're trying to put this creature into play utilizing Quest for Ulah's Temple. One play set, Simic Sky Swallower. Next up, we have Tromocratus, an 8/8 legendary Kraken that has hexproof unless it's attacking or blocking, and it cannot be blocked unless all creatures defending player controls blocks it. A menace if it gets out onto the battlefield. I can attest to that. One play set. And next up we have the Stormtide Leviathan. For 5 and 3 blue, or 3 counters on Ulah's Temple, we get an 8/8 Leviathan that has Island Walk, makes all lands islands in addition to their other types, and prevents any creatures without flying or Island Walk to attack. 4 copies, Stormtide Leviathan. Next up, we have Grozoth. 6 and 3 blue, or of course, Ulah's Temple. We get a 9/9 Defender Leviathan, which we can tap 4 and have it lose Defender until end of turn. The 1 and 2 blue Transmute ability does not help us out in this deck as we have no spells that cost 3. Why he's so powerful is whenever he comes into play, we may search our library for any number of cards that have converted mana cost 9, reveal them, put them into our hand, and then shuffle our library. A play set of these, and you'll notice he costs 9, so he can tutor up 3 copies of himself, and at this point in time, he's the only one of the creatures that we can tutor up because we have 8, 7, and 7. However, that brings us to our last play set of bigguns, and this is our closer, the Inkwell Leviathan. For 7 and 2 blue, yep, that's a CMC of 9. Hello, Grozoth. We get a 7/11 artifact creature as a Leviathan, trample, Island Walk, Shroud. 4 copies. He is our closer, and he is so much better if we have a Stormtide Leviathan in play. Best plays that I can make with this deck is first activation, the Stormtide goes in. Second activation, a Grozoth comes in, bringing all Inkwell Leviathans right to my hand. Come on, camera, focus in there. Okay. So, yes, this takes some time because we have to get at least 3 counters, and we're not proliferating in any way. We're pondering, we're Halimar depthing, we're brainstorming, and we're just hoping to get lucky. So we need some spells to help delay the game some so that we can get Quest of Ulah's Temple to activate. And one play set of Unsummon will help us accomplish that feat. For a cost of blue, we can return target creature to its owner's hand. That's for the quick creatures that are out there that are causing us all kinds of ruckus. We just quick unsummon them and then we're okay. A few turns in is where our removal really shines. If it comes down to it and we need to tap 4 for sorcery speed removal, we have the fantastic, the amazing Whelming Wave. For 2 and 2 blue, we return all creatures to their owner's hands except for Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents. Perfect flavor for this deck. Amazing removal spell. I can attest that this card has been a godsend every single time I've cast it. A play set, absolutely. And then finally, since this is a straight blue deck, we got to have us them islands. And here they are, 20 or 16, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 islands. Then we have the 4 Halimar Depths for a total of 20 lands. 4 instant removals, 4 sorcery speed removals, 20 creatures, 4 temples, 4 brainstorms, 4 ponders. Lots of 4-ofs here. This is MTG Burgeoning's Quest for Ulah's Temple deck. Let's get a look at that one more time. Quest for Ulah's Temple. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. 12 ways to make sure that we can get that, to put on top of our library, what we want to have there. If it's a creature card, reveal it, put in a quest counter on Quest for Ulah's Temple. And at the beginning of each end step, if there are 3 or more quest counters on it, we're putting a Kraken, we're putting a Leviathan, we're putting one of those babies into our hand, and from our hand into play. That is Quest for Ulah's Temple. Folks, this is MTG Burgeoning Kitchen Table Series. I hope you enjoy what you saw. Go forth, play the deck. It is a fun deck to play, and it is oh so flavorful. MTG Burgeoning, take care of yourselves and each other.